So now we've got that adjusted. We're going to put this back together. Okay, now something else I wanted to talk about is the stand mechanism itself. That throw off. You want to adjust this so that you always have the ability to adjust more or less tension with this. So what I like to do is make sure that when I tighten the snare wires into place, is I make sure that the screw adjustment is halfway in its travel, which means I can tighten it or I can loosen it. I don't want it so that it's all the way tight or all the way loose when I make this initial setup, because then I won't have anywhere to go with it. So in this particular case right now, this drum's set, I'd say a little bit too loose. So I'm going to just slack this off. I'm going to pull the strings a little tighter with the throw off in place or engaged, so that I know where its maximum place is. I'm going to pull pretty tight the strings so I get a pretty close result to it being tight right now. So because I have the ability to tighten or loosen the wires, I'll be able to change the amount of pressure they put on the drum and change the sound of the wires and of the drum itself. Okay, so there we go. So now we've got both heads tuned. This one's in tune and the bottom one's tensioned to how we like it. Now comes the time to get the sound we want out of the drum. We'll see where we're at first. Okay, first of all, the wires are a little loose, so I'm going to tighten them up a little bit. You don't want the snare wires so tight that they're really choking the drum. I personally tend to like them so that they're just at the point where they sound really crisp, like that, but not choking the drum. So I'm going to slack them off a little bit. Not so bad. Now, if I want to make the drum sound really tight sounding, I probably want to bring the pitch of the drum up a little bit. Right now it's like kind of a medium tight. So let's see where we're at. It's a little lower. Pretty close. So let's see what we have now. Very bright, poppy kind of sound. If I wanted to bring the drum down, I can do that. Just bring the tension down, keep it really even. Now, as you hear, it's a bit of over-ring to that. That's quite common. Almost every drum's got some over-ring to it. What you want to do to muffle that's up to you. Some people like to have it really muffled so it's really tight. I'll use my finger for an example. The drum without any muffling, with muffling. So it makes it a much shorter sound. There's a lot of products on the market you can use to do that. Little silicone pads called moon gels are terrific for doing that. You can use a little piece of tape. I personally try to avoid using a lot of muffling on the drum because I don't like what it does to the sound of the drum. I like to, use what's there. But with the combinations of tuning, the different drum head choices that are out there, and the muffling options, you can get a lot of different sounds out of just about every snare drum. This is a coated single ply head, which is what most drums are shipped with. You can try like a coated 2-ply head, which will give you a little fatter sound. Coated heads are most common for snare drums. You don't see a lot of clear heads on snare drums, mainly because of the sound that we want to get out of the snare drum is quite crisp, and a clear head will have a lot of overtones. A coated head tends to make it a little more focused sounding, so that's why we choose that. So I think that's about it. That's a pretty quick sort of crash course into how to tune and set up a snare drum. Thanks for watching.
Not even a paradiddle? Sweet.
So now what you do is you want to take the drum and